What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, world? Tap, Crush. Welcome to the Monday Jump Off number 46. Whoo, baby. We got something really deep to talk about today. I received a text message from a homegirl of mine, and she was just like, what do you think of this situation? So it's a heavy situation, so I'm going to go right in just with a positive read because we always start Monday off with something positive in our thoughts. So, today is November 29th. Boom. It states wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epicurus. You must make yourself content with who you are and what you have if you want to be truly wealthy. Contentment does not mean you must stay where you are, it simply means you have no desperate needs. Contentment does not mean you cannot want and do more for yourself. It means you are at peace. The peace that contentment brings is a quiet peace of mind. With a peaceful mind, you can think and dream. You also get information about what to do. When your mind is not filled with desperation and doubt, it is primed for inspirational ideas. Our wants rob us of the peace of the moment. They keep us locked in deprivation and lack. When we are wanting, we are not grateful because we cannot see what we have. We must learn to be content in the abundance of where we are if we ever want to move beyond that spot. I am wealthy right here, right now. Love that passage. A lot of Von Zant, Acts of Faith, really good joint. Pick it up. Yeah, like I always say, you were already born rich. You just need to get a skill to get your material wealth that you desire. But no amount of wealth outbeats a good character and having a good spirit, good presence, good essence about yourself. Always remember that. So I want to go right in. This situation is crazy. It's my very first time ever hearing it. It's about a brother named Anthony Broadwater. So Anthony Broadwater was convicted of raping a woman in Syracuse, New York, and he served 16 years. This woman name is Alice Sebold. She wrote the memoir book called Lucky about the situation. So what's so crazy is heavy stuff here. He did 16 years for a crime he didn't commit. Just recently exonerated. So I think about another black man doing time for rape he did not commit or sexual act he did not commit. So basically, she states back then they're walking upon each other and he just smiles and says, "Hey, do I know you?" She doesn't answer and keeps walking, calls the cops, and I guess they do the sweep, put him in the lineup. She originally points at somebody else, and the cops seems to have coached her to pointing him out for whatever reason. I go, damn. So that's how he got locked up, basically, for a crime he didn't commit. But she was raped, but he was never the attacker. He gets out December of 1998. She drops the memoir in 1999 called Lucky. Double slap in the face because now she's getting paid off. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. So let's just discuss accountability, being accountable, reparations, repairing the wrong you've done. There is no sorry that can be said to this man. Down to the fact, right? I was listening to him speak. Very articulate, man. Brother's just articulate. He said two things that really stuck out. That's really crushing to the spirit a bit. He said, my father died before he got to see the exoneration. That's a man that loved his father and wanted to demonstrate that he was a right man and an upright man, and just, so that's a double hurt. Mine is your time. That's just crushing. Like the person that you looked up to had to pass with that possibility of you being something that you wasn't. Then this person has been paid off of an infliction that you just did not commit. But most importantly, you got to start at the head of it. So the only way we make this right, the police officers who did a terrible job, terrible, terrible, terrible job. They didn't even have all the information to begin with. Jail time, pension taken, sued, lawsuit. Why not? Why is that? Why is these things never on the table? Then, woman who wrongly convicted the man, book sales, compensation, movie it was supposed to be a movie, and the producer who was doing the movie for Alice Sebold realized that the script in the book, things didn't make sense. So he hired a private investigator. And that's what got the brother Anthony Broadwater exonerated after all these years. It's funny how she was still continuing to elevate in the lie, and that is what got her caught, right? And it's like poetry almost to see that happen. Here you are, a couple $100,000, $1 million deal to publish this story, and then the producer having the wherewithal going like, this doesn't seem right. Let me hire my own team to make sure I'm putting out correct information. And that's called caution. That's called covering your six, right? So, due to the fact of his due diligence, it allowed another man to become exonerated. So, therefore, all the people who are culpable, who are supposed to have account of this situation, police officers, piss poor job, her just saying, I know that face from anywhere, after months of the rape happening, pointing him out, in the street and doing the sweep. Everybody is accountable and everybody needs to pay up because there's no words, there's no sorries to be said. And to add in, since you wrote that memoir, it's time now to reenact it in a way that shows this man's innocence now. So that book, Lucky, they need to add in the back that he was exonerated. He was not the rapist in the new, publishing of the book. If it is even continued published, or to hell with it. You just need to take the book off the market then, since it's giving false allegations on somebody who had to do 16 years, who was so alleviated that he was exonerated, and all he wished is for his father to see it, who was so alleviated that he was exonerated that he apologized to his wife for not ever giving her kids because he didn't want the kids to grow up with the stigma that their father was a rapist. So he basically killed off his bloodline. There's really nothing that can ever be said to this man. I'm just very happy that Anthony Broadwater is exonerated, and I hope, the state of New York does the right thing to cover his accountability. And peace to the producer that was covering his credibility and looking in deeper into the situation because things didn't make sense. And yeah, so got some justice, and I'm just happy that Justice was served. Maybe not in the time that it needed to be served, of course, but eventually he kept fighting, kept fighting, kept fighting for what was right. And we all should always fight for what is right and what is rightfully yours and what is rightfully um, supposed to be given to you to make yourself whole in a terrible situation, especially a situation based off lies and deceit and illegal activity. Absolutely. Never feel ashamed to fight for righteous order, no matter what. I don't care if people think you crazy. You keep fighting because one day the sun got to shine. Took this man till he was 61. Took a lot of the best years of his life, but now he gets to go into the fall of his life a lot smoother, a lot cooler. And, shout out to that man and his family. I'm going to keep an eye on this case to see exactly what happens, to see if said party, Alice Sebold, does the right thing, set up some compensation, see if, Syracuse, New York, compensates this man for the incompetency of the police force up there, or the completely, evilness of the police officers on the case. I would love to see their name in the news too, so they can get some work, and because they probably did it to advance their career. So a lot of times, these police officers, they trying to get the detective or whatever. So they just going like, you, him, yeah, that'll work. Boom, let's get him. And that false advancement need to be taken away. Pensions need to be taken. Got to get it right. Got to get it right. But I'm very happy that Brother Anthony Broadwater just finally got his justice. And justice rules over everyone eventually. You just got to respect that. So, say I like to say this. I'm compressed. This is the Monday Jump Off. Thank you for coming out with me this morning, and I'll see you next week. Always just send your questions. DM me, Netaru Rush. That's NTRURESH at IG. And let's just keep rocking. I wish everybody the best. Stay focused on your goals and have an incredible week. Peace.